Sometimes creative people have really big ideas. So they have this vision of something they're trying to create, and they've heard some advice. Maybe they passionately believe in the gurus who say, just follow your passion and the money will follow. It'll all just work out somehow. Sometimes new business owners who want to develop something as a side hustle or an income generating gig that will become their full-time income. Maybe they want to quit their jobs and build something else on the side. They may have common red flags. I found when I talk to people who want to start something, there are some things that they're doing, that they're thinking about, that are setting them up to fail. So I can kind of know that their business won't be successful because of three main factors that they're not really considering, or there's some warning signs. So this video is about 3 signs that your business will fail. So I'm hoping that by pointing some of these things out, if this is the way you're thinking, if this is if you notice that this is true of the business you're trying to create, that's going to be really difficult for you to actually get this business off the ground. It probably means you're going to work too hard and there's not really going to be a lot of income. So it's really easy to have a very passionate hobby that you try to grow that never really goes anywhere. And that's what I want you to avoid and focus on building a business that earns money really quickly so you can spend more of your time doing high-level creative work rather than trying to make this thing work. Or trying to get a business like off the ground. So here are the 3 things. The first one is if you don't focus on the money. So a lot of creative people don't like to focus on the money. They don't like to think about the market or what am I going to sell or who's going to pay me for this thing. So they think about something that has nothing to do with the money, and they think the money will just happen somehow. Like, oh, if I build a big enough platform, if I get enough visibility to my site, then I can make money somehow with something else that isn't even on my radar yet. So they may feel like, as creative people, if they're an artist or a writer, they may feel like it's below them to think about the money, to consider, if they are just trying to make a paycheck, that can be a turnoff for a lot of creative people. So they may say things like, if I wanted to make money, I would just get a real job. Or if I wanted to, make something that people want to buy, then I'm just selling out and I'm a hack. So I need to focus on something that's not making money because it's more fulfilling or because it has more meaning or whatever. But the truth is, if you spend all of your time building something that isn't making any money, it's going to be really difficult to grow it. You're not going to be able to grow it bigger, you're not going to be able to scale it, and you're not going to be reimbursed for all the time that you're investing to build this thing. And you could be building something else that actually makes money with your time, so that you could take that money and really dedicate your time, money, resources 100% to your vision, to your big ideas. A lot of successful creative people do some gigs that earn money because they make something that people are willing to pay for, and then they spend their time and the resources they've generated to also do some creative stuff that doesn't earn money. And that they're able to do that because they're making money, because they're choosing to make money with what they're doing. So if you don't know how you're going to make money, if you don't have a clear plan of like, this is what I'm going to sell, these are the people that's going to buy the thing, if instead you're trying to make some big movement or community or vision, or you have like a statement about the way you want to change the world, that's great. But it's going to be harder, even if you get lots of engagement, even if you get tons of visibility, if you don't have a product, if you don't have something that makes money, it's going to be hard for you to keep it going year after year. It's going to be hard for you to consistently get people interested. If you don't have anything to pay them, it's going to be harder to get high quality work. Maybe you need to design a website or to get marketing. If you don't have any money to pay for the things that you want to make, everything is just going to be a lot harder. So if you're thinking about building what you think is a business, but there's no revenue scheme, or you don't have a direct plan for bringing in income, that's a red flag that you're not really building a business. You're building something that's really a glorified hobby, that even if you're tremendously successful at doing what you want, it's still probably not going to pay you very well, which is fine if you don't want to make money with the thing that you're doing. But I recommend making money with the thing that you're doing, because it not only makes you able to spend more time and effort and resources, and to get more of a team, to hire employees, to take what you want and build it to a bigger level, it's going to need some money. So the second sign that your business might fail is if you're depending on influencers to promote the business for you. So a lot of artists or authors, like the way to make money as an artist is to build products people want. I know that's kind of hard to hear because we've been taught this mythology of modernism, which says you should just focus on the passion and do the thing that your heart loves to do, regardless of whether or not people want it. That's a contemporary version of it's a mythology of creative production, which is founded in modernism as a reaction against more traditional schools that had focused on developing a really high level, high value skill set to build perfect products that people wanted. That's how art and music and writing was for thousands of years until the late 18th century, 19th century, where suddenly you have this artistic revolution where skill is no longer necessary to build products, where skill and the reception, the value to the receiver was no longer the thing that made the art important. And it became all about making something new, even if you didn't have skills to build something high quality. So there became this disconnect, and now we believe in this methodology where we can just create, and we will just create, and we're making, like, it's more valuable if nobody wants it, if there's no marketplace. But a lot of creative people, they just think, if only I could get on Oprah, I would sell 1 million copies. If only I could get these blogs to talk about my work, I would sell, thousands of them. I'd become rich, I'd become famous. If your business is dependent on other people with platforms to share your idea, that's a red flag. That's going to be a limitation, because if you haven't done a business that earns any money and you don't have anything to give to those influencers other than a big idea, there's not going to be any reason for them to support you. People with big platforms are busy. They have a lot of their own projects. They have a lot of other things they need to worry about, and they're not going to recommend other people who are doing things, even if they really believe in the idea, even if it's a great idea that they get and they understand and they want to support. If you haven't built a big, successful sales model or product or platform or community already, if you don't have something tangible and it's all just ideas, then you're not really going to be able to get their attention. And even if you get their attention, it's going to be hard for them to take time to just give their, like, if their time is very valuable, they could spend their time making more stuff that makes them money. And if you're asking them to give away their trust or their credibility or their time to support your thing, to work on your thing for free, or to share your thing for free to their audience just because it's a great idea, it's going to be hard to get influencers on board. And if your business model depends on getting other people to promote you for free, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be challenging for you, and it's probably not going to work out so well. So I hear a lot of people who say, like, they're always just trying to network to get somebody bigger to spread their idea, or they're trying to find partners. Like, if only I could get someone with an audience who will come on as an investor or a board member, or who will partner with me to make this thing grow. And if you don't have a business that makes money, there's not a lot of incentive for them to do that. Even if it's, nonprofit or for charity or whatever, it's a red flag. It's still totally possible. It's just gonna be harder if you're dependent on influencers to share your message for you. Unless you have a valuable product that makes money and you're able to give them half of the money with affiliate marketing. If you have something proven that has a lot of testimonials, a lot of reviews, and it's getting a lot of traction already, then you could bring in influencers and incentivize them to share it by splitting the profits. But if you don't already have something that's making money, there are no profits to share, so no one's really going to be interested in helping you build it to the point where it becomes profitable. Something else I'll tag on there, this is really my 3 steps, but there's a 4th step, which is just, if you don't have anything done, if you don't have a real physical thing, that's going to be a problem. So a lot of people have big ideas, but they don't know how to set up a website. They don't have anything. They don't know how to do sales pages or copywriting. They don't have any graphic design skills, so they can't even take their idea and make it tangible in an online form, which means making a website which presents it really well and gets people to sign up or has an offer. If there are too many pieces that you need to learn and you don't have any money to hire help, because you haven't made a business that focuses on profit, you're not going to have anything other than an idea. And an idea really doesn't have any value. It's hard to get people to invest in your idea if it's just at the idea stage. There's a saying that I'm not going to be able to quote in full, but basically if it's just an idea, there's not much value there. The idea is in the execution. Everybody has lots of ideas. The person who executes and turns it into something real that people will pay for first, and they're the first to market, the execution is really where the value is. So you might be able to partner with someone and have a great idea and sell the idea to someone who can execute. But really, like, it's going to be difficult to get investors on board unless you have a working model of the thing that you're trying to sell, or at least a minimal viable product where you've built something, at least a website, and you've tested the market and you've shown that there's a need for this thing and that you have something that people are willing to buy. And if you're not building something based around the profit, if you're just trying to do this movement or idea that's not at all tied to what people will pay for, that's going to be a problem. So the third thing that's a red flag is that it's too confusing to explain. A lot of people have this idea, but it's really complicated. So they love talking about their idea, and they might corner people and try to explain their idea, but the explanation is this 10-minute summary of all these moving parts and pieces, and I can get this, and I can do this, and I can do this. If it's too hard to explain, if you can't tell your business idea in one sentence and make it sound cool and attractive and immediate so that people just get it right away, that's going to be a problem, because nobody's going to listen to you for 10 minutes while you're trying to explain your business idea. If you can't say, it's this meets this, and make it obvious that it's this new thing that people haven't thought of before, but there's an obvious need for. So if you're taking two successful business strategies or models and putting them together to serve a new community in a new way, and it just sounds immediately badass and cool, and if you should be able to pitch your sentence in a way that, when you introduce it to people, they're like, wow, that's awesome. Where can I buy this? Where can I send you money? Take my money now. You need to be able to have an idea that's cool enough and big enough and interesting enough that people get excited about it, genuinely excited about it right away. And then have somewhere to send them, have an opt-in form or an email list where they can get more information. You can validate an idea very, very easily, very quickly. So if you have a great idea and you'll be able to put it like a one-page landing page together that says, this is the thing, sign up for updates, and you do a little bit of marketing or paid advertising or sharing or whatever, you should be getting people signing up to hear more because it's such a cool thing. But basically, you should be able to explain it really simply in a gripping 2-second introduction, not 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. You should be able to summarize your business idea. It should be immediate and obvious and make sense. People should get it, and it should sound cool. If you get a lot of reactions their face kind of glosses over, or they're like, oh, that's interesting, or yeah, but there's just, if it takes you too long to explain it, that's because it's too big of an idea and you haven't focused on really honing down on a very specific, very practical business model that's clear and obvious to your ideal marketplace. When you launch something new to the right market, they should just get it. It should be simple. It shouldn't need a lot of explanation. So if you have a problem explaining your business idea quickly and simply to people, that's going to be a problem. So those are kind of 3 indications. If those 3 things are things that you feel like they might resonate with you, if you feel like you're having these problems getting your business off the ground and it's because of one of these 3 reasons, I hope that this video helps you to take a step back and maybe reformulate and focus more on a new business idea that can meet these 3 criteria. But these are red flags. So if you can find a new business idea that hits these 3 points, doesn't have a problem with these 3 points, that's going to make a much simpler, easier business to run with. So if you create the right business idea, it shouldn't be that difficult to get off the ground. It shouldn't be that difficult to get some support, to get traffic, to start earning money right away. This might not be the thing you want to do with your entire life, but you can start simple, small businesses that provide a valuable product or service to a hungry market that earns money. And then you can scale that up, or you can learn about business, or you can figure out how to make more money with less work and start multiple other businesses, side businesses, so you have multiple streams of income. Then when you have, consistent money coming in and you don't need to work very hard to make that money, you're going to have lots of time and money and experience in building things online or starting movements or building lists. Once you have experience starting the easy stuff, which is online businesses that are simple and people are willing to pay for, then it's going to be a lot easier to build those bigger value-based, mission-driven movements that may be more fulfilling. You may be more passionate about those, but I would save those for, you can definitely work on those also, but they're going to be hard to get off the ground if you're starting from zero and you don't have any income and you don't have any audience, you don't have any traffic. If you try to build one of these businesses that doesn't solve specific basic needs or isn't obvious or doesn't make money right away, everything's just going to be harder for you. I've seen a lot of people struggle for 5 or 10 years because they have one vision. They're reluctant to give up. They don't want to make any money. They don't want to sell out by making something that people want. They're just committed to persevering with their vision. You could take 1 year and build a profitable business that makes money so that you can spend the rest of your life focusing on the thing that you're really passionate about. But if you don't spend some time focusing on the money, it's really easy to just spend not only 5 or 10 years of your life, but also thousands and thousands of dollars trying to get this thing that you believe in off the ground, but never connecting with an audience, never resonating with other people, because nobody really gets it or nobody really wants it and nobody's willing to pay for it. So I hope this video helps a little bit. If you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you know someone who is stuck with their business and you know that they're just spinning their wheels and they're not really making any progress. Maybe this video will help them to figure out what's going wrong, so they can really focus on pitching their business or reframing or pivoting with their business in a way that's going to see more success, because it is very possible to see a lot of success very quickly if you do the right things and you line the right things up and you pitch it in the right way to the right audience. It shouldn't be that difficult if you're doing things the right way.